Hi, welcome. In this particular module, I'll be showing you text formatting. I made an introduction of text formatting or how text and numbers behave whenever you input it into a cell. So I will be clicking one of these cells. Maybe I will tick in 3. For example, I enter 3. Notice that it's aligned to the right. And if I'm using a text value and I'm typing, okay, if I should type the word lecture, notice that it's aligned to the left instead of aligning to the right. Note that for every text value aligned to the left and every numbered value aligned to the right, including when you have a date format or a float. This is a float 3.5. Whenever we have a decimal value, it's called a float. It's also going to align to the right, including date format or any percentage format. They will all align to the right, but only text value align to the left. Sometimes we have some numbers value that we have some numbers value that we don't want to represent it in a number format, but we want to represent it in a text format. Now, you should know that Excel default format for all values is general. So it is on your own properties on general. So if you click on this general, you will see all the properties. So for every values you enter into a cell, it is automatically on general format unless you try you tends to change it into currency accounting date or others, but it automatically recognize what kind of format you're presenting. Let's say for example I'm presenting a date format using /8/2023. Notice that it automatically recognizes as a date. Notice I clicked on it and it changed to date. It recognizes it as date. Simply if you use 2 8 dash hyphen 2023, it still recognizes it as a date format. Do you notice that it automatically change? There are different date format for different countries. So some countries start months, um, and some countries start their value with months, and some start with dates then next month. Like the US starts their date value with month, day, and year, while other countries, Nigeria starts with um, day, months, and a year. So that's fine on that. Okay, for you to use more functions in more format functions, you can simply click on that general and click on more format. Then it's a dialog box will appear, or you can also simply click on Control 1. The same dialog box will appear. Note that for um, every format you want to do, you must first of all highlight the particular region. Either you highlight the column or you select that particular cell you want to format. Now there are a lot of formats you can make use of here. We have custom, specials, percentages and fractions, scientific accounting, currency. You can make use of this, and there are a lot of currency value or symbols that if different country from different countries is available here, including your country symbols is available here. So you can make use of anyone here. So that's just it on formatting. So if I want to change this number, since I've highlighted this number, I can simply come here and click on text. It automatically change it to text value. Now, automatically change it to text value. Do you notice that it's aligned to the left because it is now on text? Okay, now I'll be going back to the data set. Okay, here we have the same data set we have been following from onset of this course. Now, if you notice that quantity, we we or if you notice that on these sales we don't have a currency that is assigned to this particular sales. So if we want to add a currency based on our location or the local currency we use, there is, okay, if I want to make use of the dollar sign, I can simply click on Ctrl Shift then 4, then it automatically add a dollar sign to it. Now you can also go back and reduce the decimal point on this cell by coming to under the format showing the currency. Then I can reduce the decimal value or increase the decimal value. Now remember the last time I told you that the discount is always in percentage because it is given in percentage. That is why we are having 0.45. So if you want to make it in percentage, now it's in probability form. For you to make it in percentage, you can also use Ctrl Shift 5, then it add percentage to it. Or if you don't get that, you can also come to the format and click on the percentage. It automatically changes to percentage. You can see we also have time format whereby you can represent a value and want it to be represented in time format. So there are a lot of formats in which we going to get to make use of while studying this, or maybe during your practice. You can be very inquisitive to say, okay, there are a lot of things I want to achieve or I want to analyze. So you might get to use any of these value or text formats. So I'll be diving into text formatting. Then you see how we can format some text. Now, looking at this table, we have lot of text on this, and if I need to make changes of the font we have here, if you see when I clicked on here, where it has shown us that our text font that we have on this particular column is Calibri. I can come down here and change it to area, then everything will be changed to area. I can also want to make this particular row make it light by coming to this paint. Then I can make use of any of this color, then just to um just lay a mark on here that okay, maybe this was the last place I made an analysis, or anyhow you want to beautify your table. I can also make use of this particular space, make it all black, and also change the text color by clicking on white. Then I add my text color. You can also make this bold, make any of this value bold. This is part of the text formatting, and I can make it at Italy. You know, we have a common or general the keyboard function, which is Control I to make it Italy, Control B to make it bold, Control U to add underline, or if you want to mark create a border within any particular range, you can come to the range and click on border. Then you will see everything here will be added. Border will be added on everything here. Okay, that's it on cell formatting. You can play around using any of these. So I want to go ahead and show you other text formatting that you can make use of. Okay, for example, I'm having um, this particular people here. Okay, this particular state here, can come ahead and copy that from there and return it back to here. Okay, I'm having a lot of names of people here. I Let me paste transpose. Okay, okay, that's a table. Okay, let me copy that again. I want to paste transpose. What's that? Okay, okay, I'm pasting transpose. Okay, let's say for example, I have all these name of states aligned here and I want to add value to each of them, but I want to recognize this as a state. If I place state here, notice this, it cannot simply tell me all the value that everything here is state, but it's only signifying that Kentucky is a state. But for me to make this more interpretable, why I will change, I light the whole of this section and use um, this particular properties on the ribbons and click on merge. Now if you notice that all this cell has been merged, so if I should add a color and a paint to this, then you see that it's telling us that everything here belongs to a state. All these names here are all states. So I can also go ahead and add. Okay, let's say I'm having a lot of names inside. Okay, I want to bring in Ketura inside here. Okay, let me just write a random values that has no random value. If you notice that this value has moved along, I mean, has crossed the border to other columns. But if I want to build it up into a particular cell, I can come here and click on text wrap. Notice this is not crossing over every other cell. It has wrapped it into a particular cell. So if you remember that when in the previous lecture, I had to um okay, if I'm taking this label out, okay, notice this, it has crossed from this particular column to the other column, which is P. So if I want to keep everything in this particular column without moving any further to or crossing that particular column, this column O to column P, I can simply come and click text wrap. Then it's notice it has wrapped everything into a particular cell rather than crossing it over to the next cell. So this is how to wrap up your text. So there are other things you can do, which is the aligning of text. You can align the text to the right, but this is different because you are the one aligning the text to the right. So therefore, it's still remain in a text format. It doesn't change the format of the text being a number or any of the numbers format. So you can also align it to the center, keeping it at the center, or you can take it up above. Now to notice if these kind of values have moved up above. Let's say I'm returning back to the previous sheet. I'm having this Florida open up here. Then I can choose this up here. notice it has moved up, stating that we're starting from the beginning, and I can also put it at the center or the center here. So each every way, any way you want to make use of your text formatting, you want to format your text on Excel, especially when you're building a large board, or you want to build a dashboard. So you can simply make use of um any of these properties to organize your board properly or organize your text properly. Make use of the cell function. You can also increase the text size, like I told you, or you make use of any of these to make it more faster. That's it on text formatting and cell formatting. There are a lot of things you can do on Excel, just like the way we do others. You can also design um, you can also design some text and bring it here, or include picture into a particular cell. So those are other things you can do in Excel. So I will allow you to explore these functions and play around with using all these properties you've seen that I've shown you. If there is none I've talked about here, I will we suggest that you go ahead and look at the changes or make use of these functions. You can see match across, mesh cells or match cells. These are things that you can also try yourself and see the behavior or the changes that it will make when you click on any of these following. And you can also see this making your text slant, vertical rotate text, or rotate text down. These are things you also need to try yourself. That's why I giving you the opportunity to explore all this so that you can have a knowledge of how this thing works. That is why I said you practice. It's all right. Okay. Thanks. We'll be meeting up in the next section, whereby in the next module 2, we're done on module 1. I'll be talking about um I'll be talking about in the module 2, we're going to start up other projects. I will bring projects and I will do it here, and I will give you some assignments on the next module. Also, we're going to see on conditional formatting. We're going to see some basic mathematics functions you can use in Excel. These are all other things I will be introducing the course module in the next section, so you get to see what we are to study through in the next module. So congratulations on you having to finish module 1. Let's dive into module 2. Thanks.